I've been playing New Horizons after the 3.0 update came out for a couple days now, and I can feel my Animal Crossing addiction consuming me again. I played New Horizons constantly when it first came out for about the first year of its release, and then after that, I sort of fell out of it and would only play it in brief phases a couple times a year. Like each year, I'd have like 2 phases where I'd play the game for a couple weeks and then just put it down again. The new update adds features that make me want to keep coming back to it every day. Also, after the update pulled me in again, it just reminds me of why I love the game so much, as well as the series in general. Playing the game again makes me want to complete all the stuff that I never got around to finishing, like paying off the rest of my home loan and donating everything to the museum. The most notable thing they added in this new update is the hotel. With the hotel, you have 8 different rooms that you can decorate and have villagers stay in. It's pretty similar to Happy Home Designer and the Happy Home Paradise DLC in this way, which is why I wasn't super excited when they first announced it. I was like, haven't we done this like twice already? Like, why is this a new feature? But it ended up being more fun than I thought it would be. I'm not really good at like decorating houses and stuff in Animal Crossing games. I just don't have like that sort of creative mind. Like the house that I have now is basically just like a 1-for-1 copy of this like YouTuber I saw. I just don't have the imagination for that sort of thing, but I ended up having a lot of fun with it. They have this recommended tab that shows you a bunch of suggestions for furniture you can use to decorate the room based on the theme you're given. So that makes it a lot easier for people like me that just have like no creativity when it comes to decorating houses in Animal Crossing. Just simply seeing a new building on my island was really weird and really exciting at the same time. This game is about to turn 6 years old, and I've been playing it ever since its release, so it's just so weird to see a new building after all this time. Like, it just looks so surreal there. Captain's family is back, which is awesome. It's just great to see them again, and in high definition this time. The most exciting thing about this hotel, however, and honestly the most exciting thing for me personally for this entire update, is that the villagers that visit your island and stay in the hotel rooms can actually be seen wandering around your island. This is a feature I've been wanting in Animal Crossing forever. I've always wanted you to be able to have villagers in your town that don't actually live there. You have stuff like the campsite, but that's not really the same thing because they only ever stay in their tents. Other Animal Crossing games kind of played with this idea with you being able to see old villagers from your town walking around Main Street and stuff, but having random visiting villagers just being able to wander around your main town is just so cool. It just makes so much sense. Like when you talk to Isabel, she's always talking about how your island is becoming really popular and it's getting a really high rating, so it's becoming a really popular tourist spot and a bunch of people want to visit, but you never actually see those people visiting your island or your town. This feature is so exciting for me. I'm so glad we finally have it. And there's 8 rooms in the hotel, so that means you can have 8 different villagers visiting your town, and it rotates every single day, so you'll constantly have new villagers just walking around your island. From my understanding, I don't think you can convince them to live on your island like you can when they visit the campsite or something, and honestly it's probably for the best because at that point, like, what's even the point of the campsite anymore? That'd basically just make the hotel a glorified campsite where 8 villagers can stay in it. I just get even more excited to play New Horizons every day just to see what new villagers are walking around my town. The 3.0 update also added a lot of changes to crafting. Crafting is a lot more enjoyable now because they finally added bulk crafting to New Horizons. I have no idea what made them decide to finally release this 6 years later. It's like they were intentionally ignoring fans' requests just so we would like forget about it after a while, just for them to finally release it a lot later and be like, hey guys, we're introducing bulk crafting. Isn't that a great idea that we came up with? It's extremely late, but I'm glad we finally have it. You could also use materials for crafting directly from your home storage, meaning if you need to craft something with wood but you don't have any wood on you, it'll just automatically pull it from your home storage, and you don't even have to be in your house either. It could be anywhere outside on a DIY station. This makes me enjoy crafting a whole lot more. If you saw my video where I talk about what I think the next Animal Crossing game could look like, I mentioned that I wasn't a huge fan of crafting because I feel like it just didn't add a whole lot to Animal Crossing, and I didn't find myself doing it super often later in the game. But quality of life stuff like this makes me want to craft a whole lot more. I'm actually really excited now to just stockpile a bunch of resources in my home, like go out and cut a bunch of wood and gather a bunch of stones just to have a bunch in my home storage so I just don't really have to worry about it in the future. Before, I wasn't motivated to do that because I knew that even if I did stockpile all those resources, I'd still have to go all the way back to my house, grab the materials I need, and then go all the way back to a DIY bench to craft what I need to craft. But yeah, I think I'm going to be crafting a lot more after this update. They also introduced this new thing called DIY requests, where you're given a list of things that need to be crafted, and if you craft them, you get hotel tickets for it, which I guess I forgot to mention, but you get these hotel tickets for decorating rooms and completing DIY requests, and you can use them to spend them in the shop at the hotel. And then there's all the other quality of life stuff. You have the ability to expand your home storage even more, which is great. I'm still paying off my home loan, so I'm not going to be able to upgrade my storage for a good long while, but it's going to be nice when I need it. They also introduced sidestepping, which is something they didn't really talk about in the reveal trailer for the update, but they just kind of showed it and didn't mention it. It was something that was really easy to miss. Basically, this makes stuff like terraforming and path making so much easier. After trying it out myself, I seriously don't know how we went so long without having this feature. I was creating a dirt path the other day and it was just so much faster with sidestepping. I also wanted to talk about the Switch 2 edition of the game since it pretty much goes hand in hand with the new update. The visuals look fantastic. The game now outputs in 4K, so there's just no noticeable rough edges anymore. It's super clean looking. Also, the megaphone is back, baby! The megaphone was first introduced in New Leaf, and it basically allowed you to say a villager's name like out loud using the system's microphone, and you could find where your villagers were at in your town. Since the Switch 2 has a microphone, they were finally able to bring this feature back, and it's really handy for when you can't find a villager you're looking for on your island. But the reason I love the megaphone so much is because I love rage baiting villagers in Animal Crossing, especially the ones I don't like, and you can actually use the megaphone to aggravate them by standing right next to them and saying their name into the megaphone and like deafening them. The Switch 2 edition also has mouse controls that you can use when you're decorating houses and making custom designs, which is super nice, and it also has faster load times. Next, we have to talk about the Slumber Islands, which is probably going to be the highlight for most people with this update. This allows you to have up to 3 different islands that are basically sandboxes for you to customize and decorate. You also have 3 different sizes to choose from. This is a great feature for people that want to create another island from scratch but don't want to like redo anything on the island they have now. But it's probably not a feature that I'll personally get a ton of mileage out of. I mentioned earlier that I'm not like very good at like customizing and decorating things in Animal Crossing, and it's not really the main reason that I play Animal Crossing. I do it for the progression and the filling out the museum and talking to villagers and that sort of stuff. But it's something I'll play around with for sure. I will say though, it's not quite as deep as I thought it would be. I mainly say that because I thought you would be able to have like villagers' houses on the island, because in the trailer it showed you could like add villagers to the island, but you just put them there to like walk around and you can't even like talk to them or anything, and they don't have their houses there. So that was a little bit disappointing to see, because something I did want to use the Slumber Islands for is basically do a recreation of my town from New Leaf. But if you can't even like put the villagers' houses there and you can't talk to them, I was just kind of like, what's really the point anymore? You can't put any shops or facilities there either, but that's to be expected, because like what would be the point of having like shops and stuff when you're in a dream? You wouldn't be able to take any of the stuff back to your main town. Still, the idea is super cool for people that just want another island to decorate and stuff. It also gets me really excited for a potential future in Animal Crossing where you can have like multiple actual towns with actual villagers living there and shops and all that other stuff. But for what we have now and for what the Slumber Islands are supposed to be, I think it's really cool. They also finally added more Nintendo crossover stuff in this update, and this is something I've been wanting for such a long time. There's all sorts of Zelda and Splatoon related stuff you can buy for your island and your house now. I'm a huge Zelda fan, so the Zelda stuff is what has me the most hyped. I really want to try to recreate like a ruins area from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with a decayed guardian and stuff. Also, I'm probably going to be wearing the Link outfits for the rest of my time playing New Horizons. The Splatoon stuff is really cool too. I love Splatoon. There's also new villagers based on Zelda and Splatoon characters, which is awesome. They did something similar back in New Leaf. I'm currently trying to get Tulin on my island, so I'm going through that whole process. I really wish Nintendo would take advantage of all their IPs like this more often. I really want to see more Nintendo crossover stuff in their games. Now, I totally understand them not wanting to do it too much because overdoing it could be really tacky, but certain games like Animal Crossing are a perfect fit for this sort of thing. I wish we had even more Nintendo related furniture and characters. And then there's Resetti's reset service. I am so glad to see Resetti have a more prominent role again. Resetti is my favorite Nintendo character of all time, so I was really sad in New Horizons when he basically got demoted and you don't really see him as much because he doesn't yell at you for not resetting your game. And as much as I wish he was still there to yell at you for not saving your game, I'll take what I can get. I'm just glad to see him. It is really weird seeing him just walk around your island casually. I'm so used to seeing him either in the ground or at the Roost or down in his little reset surveillance center. It was really surreal when I first found him walking around my island. Resetti's reset service allows you to reset portions of your island or reset your entire island. So if you have a bunch of furniture or other stuff lying around that you don't want to manually go through and pick up yourself to clean up the area, you can just have Resetti do all of that for you. So if there's an area of your island you want to redecorate, Resetti's reset service makes it a lot easier to do that. And he'll just automatically put everything into your home storage. I have this issue on my island where a lot of the flowers are really overgrown, like they're growing in a bunch of areas where I don't want them to grow, and I'm too lazy to go in with my shovel level and individually dig each of them out, so I think Resetti's reset service will be super helpful for that. He also apparently removes cockroaches, which is really cool. Once you have like a really big house in the game, it does get really annoying coming back after a long time of not playing New Horizons, and then they're just all over your house, and you have to keep running back and forth in the rooms to squish them all. So this is a very welcome feature, and it's super handy for all the people that came back after months or even years of not playing New Horizons for this update, and now they have this feature to get rid of all the cockroaches for them. This new update got me into yet another New Horizons phase. I don't think it'll last for months or anything, but I'm going to be playing this game a lot for the next few weeks at least. Whether it be doing stuff related to the update or continuing progress on stuff I haven't completed in the game, like finishing off my home loan, I'm going to be playing New Horizons quite a lot. And that's all I have to say, so farewell.